Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. What's up? What's popping? Dumalang guys. So let's talk about generations and Gomora. Let's talk about what has been happening currently on these episodes. I'm intrigued. Like a lot has been happening. So I'm gonna be starting with generations first. So the characters I'm going to be focusing on are the ones I feel like their storylines are more interesting to me anyway. So let's talk about, let's start with Ayanda and her father. So obviously Ayanda has now began to at least trust her dad, more like have an open mind when it comes to her dad. I mean, it took her a long time to accept that her dad is now back in her life. With the help of Malinga, obviously, the process kind of worked out the way he said it would. But I think now that Ayanda is at a place where she feels like she's connecting with her dad on an emotional level. Things are looking good. Ayanda's dad is also connecting with his granddaughter, so and they're really in a really good space. Okay, but at the beginning of the storyline, Ayanda had her doubts, her suspicions about why the dad is back. Now it's reversed. Malinga is now the same person who's kind of second guessing his choice. He's now realizing what Ayanda was talking about the dad and his behavior. So he decided to do a background check on his future father-in-law, and he's starting to realize that Ayanda was right, and I think he's now backtracking what everything he said in the beginning about, you know, connecting and trusting uh, her dad. So Ayanda is now really kind of happy in a way, to have her father in her life. But now that Malinga is now investigating her father, she's torn in between, like she doesn't know what to do or say, because now they're at the space where they're really finding their feet and having an emotional connection that they have never had before. And Malinga is now there coming with another issue that I think she does not want to acknowledge, because she's really happy where she is. She's comfortable with where she is with the dad, but she's also knowing that my dad is also capable of this. You know, she's not gonna be oblivious to the fact that he is capable of, breaking the law or making mistakes. So at the back of her mind, I can tell that she's kind of like hesitant, as well as second guessing what she's thinking about the dad. She wants to believe her dad, that the dad has changed, but there's something at the back of her mind that makes her want to be careful, more cautious about how she approaches the dad. Now, Ayanda's dad is doing this charity thing about orphans and, giving to the community, but obviously he has a second agenda to why he's doing it, and Malinga is starting to investigate that, and I think he's warning Ayanda about the dad, and Ayanda does not want to really believe it at the beginning, but she's starting to actually realize that, oh, my dad is capable of this, so I need to be extra careful. So she confronted the dad about this whole charity thing and why he lied about her agreeing to help the charity with the Israeli company, hashtag Israeli, I'm sorry. But, you know, this made Ayanda to step back and realize that, you know what, I shouldn't be too relaxed when it comes to my dad because I know who he is, I know what he's capable of. So, you know, she's afraid that the dad is going to defraud, you know, the Moroccans and the charity, you know, because he's done it in the past. So he's probably going to do it again now, you know, hiding behind the, is it the NGO, the charity of fundraising, you know, event. I think he's using that as a cover so that no one can be suspicious. But the only person that is suspicious right now is Malinga, and I feel like he has every right for him to suspect him, you know, because he's now realizing that this man can lie through his teeth and pretend like he's changed, but he's not changed. He's still lying, you know. He's owing a lot of people money, and this guy who's making, I understand, dad do this is currently threatening his life. Okay, I know he's threatening you, but you can go to the cops. You can go to Malinga. He's your future son-in-law. He's a cop. So for you to agree to this, knowing that it's gonna hurt Tayanda in the long run, it's selfish of him to accept this deal. You know, hopefully Malinga sorts out this before anything happens, and I think now that they know what he's capable of, Malinga is going to do everything in his power to stop it before he defrauds the charity event, the Moroccans, which I think even if they if they lose money, it won't dent that company. I mean, that oh the you know money like they're rich. They really don't need that kind of money, anyways. But anyways, so I understand is now caught in the middle. He does not know what to do because he told the guy who he owes money. He says, you know, my daughter is becoming suspicious, and now her boyfriend is also investigating this, and he's a cop. So this guy was threatening Ayante's dad, obviously, and said, you need to sort it out because I do not want any cop in our business. Now, how is this storyline going to end? I have no idea. I'm intrigued to see what's going to come up. But I'm really enjoying that storyline around Ayanda and her father, you know. On the other hand, Nontle is now realizing that her friends have cut communication with her because of how she has been acting around her, and they left the WhatsApp group, which I think I understand why they did it. You know, they're really trying to find a way to rebuild the relationship. I think Nontle wants to have her friends back, but it's hard for them to forgive her, and I understand why Mbali did that, and also her friend Mello did that. Um, are they gonna come back and become friends again? I hope so. If not, it's not this loss. But I think she won't give up. She won't give up until she has her friends back. Now let's talk about Spare and Leolo's relationship. These two have been on the rocks for the longest time. I feel like they have been hiding behind a facade, expecting everything to become okay without really talking about their issues. They began as casual, friends with benefits, and now they're trying to transition to having a serious relationship, which that's that's not how it began. And so for you to try to move from being casual to actually being in a serious relationship, it's harder than they thought, because now they have to be commit to the relationship. They need to be connecting on another level that they never were before, you know and it's hard for them to actually have an open conversation about their feelings and what they want in life in terms of their relationship, because they've never had to do that. So if you've never done that prior you going to an actual serious relationship, how do you expect to do it now? you know Spare is so focused on her family, her uncle, that she's abandoning her relationship. She's making her family. I understand why she's putting her family first. I get that totally. I I don't fault her for that. But she needs to balance her family and her relationship, because if she does not find a balance, one, it's gonna give away. Like, for example, now Leona is feeling like he's left out, and Space focusing more on her family, which she should, but she shouldn't neglect Leona like she is. And Leona is voicing that problem, those feelings to Spare, but she's not willing to acknowledge that. And I feel like Leona's reaching his breaking point when it comes to Spare and how she is treating and reacting to what he has to say. This relationship is probably not going to end well. As much as I'm rooting for them as a couple, I don't see them going any further, because Spare is really focused on the family. She's not ready for a serious committed relationship right now. And I feel like Leona is not as well, but he's wishing to have one, which I think it's normal for everyone to have, like, that urge to have a really connected, emotional, serious relationship with someone else. You know, we live for being connected to other humans, and I don't fault Leona for trying to, make this relationship work. But at the end of the day, it never began as a serious relationship. So it's going to be hard for them to transition from being casual and friends with benefits to being a serious long-term relationship, because they didn't know what to do. They never had that foundation at the beginning. So the foundation is literally in cracks, so they don't have anything to stand on in terms of moving forward. But we'll see how that goes in the long run, because I'm really rooting for them, but I don't think it's gonna end well. The relationship is gonna fall apart. I can feel it. And now that she's reconnecting with Mazuki, that's not helping, obviously. It's nice that they're co-parenting, they're civil to each other, that's fine, but I think her spending more time with Mazu is not helping, to be honest. We'll see how that goes anyways. I think that's it really for the most, in terms of the characters that I have seen so far in the current episodes. I'm really interested in how this Aganda and her father's storyline gonna unfold. I'm really intrigued about that. I think that's it, really. Now let's move on to Gomora. Oh, Gomora is juicy, guys. It's really exciting. I'm enjoying every episode. I'm not gonna lie. Now let's talk about what is going on with Tati and Pumili. Is it Pumulani. That's it, Pumulani. So obviously Pumulani is the bad guy that I've always thought he was. He's really dangerous in a way that I think Tati has an instinct about, has a feeling about it, but she does not want to really say it out loud until she has proof. Um, and it turns out that this guy is dangerous. So Pumalani hired another assassin to shoot um, Malusi because he saw Malusi and Tati hugging, having a moment, and he got jealous and he hired an assassin to kill Malusi, which turned out sideways. Obviously, he actually killed someone else. It wasn't Malusi at the end, and I think now that he realized that he fucked up, he's really trying to, fix everything. This guy is so like possessive in a way that it's scary because Tati slept with this guy and that was her mistake. She should have not fallen into the trap of sleeping with Pumalani because now things are complicated. Mulisi is also giving me the jibbies. Like, he's giving me that nervous feeling because I feel like he's almost going back to his old ways with Tat. Them having that moment did not help my anxiety, okay, my nervousness. I feel like he's gonna go back to who he was before Pumalani came to the scene, Yeah, even Gladys is kind of nervous. She's unsettled. You can just see it, Now that Pumunali also took out Mulusi for a drink and made him drunk because he wants information about Mulusi and Tati's relationship, this is not gonna end well, guys. Like I said, Pumulani is such a really dangerous guy, and he hides behind being the nice guy. He's playing the nice guy character, which is going to fall apart because that's not the real him. If you put a facade for the longest time, it's going to fall apart at the end because that's not who he is. He's faking it till he makes it, and it's not going to end well. And I think Molusi is starting to realize what kind of guy Pumulani actually is, like, because he has his own instincts that he can tell that this guy is up to something. There was a scene where Lucy took Mazette to the Mamsonto's house to celebrate Christmas, and he found Pumulani there. He was shocked to see Pumulani there, and Pumulani was also shocked to see that Mulusi is still alive because he hired someone to kill Mulusi and it did not go to plan. By the way, Mamsunt is back in action. She's now back on the show. She left for a few weeks or months, I'm not sure, but now she's back and things are gonna get starting to become more interesting, more dramatic. I'm excited to see what she's going to bring because it's been quite quiet and relaxed without Mom Soto, and I think now that she's back, things are gonna be more intense and the storylines are gonna be more exciting. Now let's talk about Teddy, Zoda, and Bonkile. So these three, oh god, it's a complex situation because Teddy and Bonkile, they have their own relationship, right? The brother and sister that are good, that are enjoying life, they're just there. But then there's Rhoda, who is struggling with the fact that she's still dealing with the aftermath of killing Dawn. You know, she's not really in a place where she wants to be. She's still processing the fact that she shot and killed Dawn, but she's trying to get over that. But there's something that is making her not move on. You know, now she's doing everything in her power to find Dawn's body, which obviously is not gonna pop up out of nowhere because Spongler buried the dad, and for her to be there, just seeing Teddy and Jordan suffer, trying to find her father because they decided to help her with the funeral, knowing that she already buried the father. It's a bit like selfish and self-centered of her to do that. I know she's angry, she's pissed off, she's annoyed that Zorda killed the dad, but I don't appreciate the way she's reacting right now. The way she's acting and pretending to be, happy and close to Zorda and faking it, knowing that she's not actually happy. I mean, why is she doing that? What's the end game of her faking the fact that she's happy? She's doing all this. She's backstabbing. She's lying. She's committing crime. For what reason? Why you just tell them that you've buried Dawn and the issue will be over? I think because she wants to use this to make Zorda suffer in a way that she's suffering. And I think though she's trying to make Zorda suffer, she's actually hurting herself in the process. Because nothing's gonna come out of this. Nothing good is gonna come out of this situation. At some point, Zorda, Teddy, and Volcani are gonna realize that Sibongli has been lying all this time about Dawn. She's doing everything in her power to hide the secret. Nothing is gonna come out of this situation. Nothing good. And once Teddy finds out what Sibongli did, that relationship is gonna be different. Zorda is now at a place where she's kind of done. She's over it because now she had the time to, voice her feelings, her anger towards Dawn, and she cleared her feelings, and now she's happy. Well, sort of, anyways. Yeah, I think that's when it comes to the Teddy, Zorda, Bongari, and Subongili situation storyline. That's it, really. But overall, I'm enjoying Gomora. It's really interesting. I'm enjoying the production. The storylines are great, especially Pumunali and Tati's storyline is unfolding in ways that I'm excited to see how the writers are gonna be going ahead with. But I think overall, the shows, the show Gomorrah and Generations are really interesting. Their episodes are exciting, the storylines are out there, and I'm enjoying every single episode so far. That's it for today, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Peace.